Hello, my name is Tim Sales. I live and work out of Woodland Hills, California. I'd like to first say that you're not going to see glitz here, so please don't expect it. I'm not an entertainer nor an actor. I've created this video as a tool designed to educate people about a business concept that works for people who are willing to put 100% of themselves into something. See, it takes 200% to be successful in business. 100% must come from you. 100% must come from the business vehicle that you've chosen. Business vehicle meaning how you earn your living, how you support your family. I've seen people who relentlessly pour 100% of themselves into a business vehicle, profession, or job, but that vehicle doesn't have the capability to give back 100%. The mechanics of wealth are just not there. But no one has ever fully explained to you why it doesn't work and why it's a waste of your valuable time if your goal is financial success. This video is for the person who is willing to put in their 100%. They're only lacking the right business vehicle, the explanation of why it's right, and the evidence that it does in fact work. Even though I say you must put in 100%, that doesn't mean that you have to work it full time. I didn't. That doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your family time, nor does it mean you have to have prior experience. I didn't. What I'll be talking about over the next hour is a real business, one where a real product or a service gets moved to an inline consumer and a solid company gets built. What you'll learn right here has allowed me and an associate to build a $25 million company. Now, a $25 million company has certainly been done before. However, this was done where no employees were required. No accounts receivable, no accounts payable, no overhead, and very little inventory. Recently, I said those words to a business owner who said back to me, "Sounds too good to be true." My response back to him was that a good enough reason to stop looking? He paused for a couple of seconds and then he said, "That wouldn't be very smart, would it?" What I suggest you do is not just watch this information, but study it. What I want to do first is create an equal playing field between people who know how to evaluate a business and those who don't. Because me explaining this business wouldn't be very effective until you understand how to place value to a business. The simplest thing for someone to do when they don't understand something is to go, doesn't work. The way I'll accomplish this equal playing field is to give you 4 main principles to look for in a business. Number 1 is a huge expanding market. If you were the best vinyl record producer in the world, would it matter today? No. It doesn't matter how good you are in an industry that's eroding. Number 2 is a unique and consumable product. I'll cover unique first. If you don't have a unique product, then you compete on price and convenience. Who has the best price? Who's closest to the customer? Yet if you have uniqueness, then people must come to you. Next is consumable. If you have a non-consumable product, you're basically unemployed until your next sell. You want the repeat sales of consumable products. Whether it's every time someone picks up the telephone, connects to the internet, renews a membership, turns on the electricity, or gets to the bottom of a box or a bottle, you want those repeating commissions because it can pay you again and again. Number 3 is timing. Primarily here I'm talking about trends in timing. During all cycles of the economy, there are people who are making money and losing money. The makers are the ones in front of large trends. The losers disregard trends. How do you get in front of large trends? You study what creates them. Without any hesitation, in today's society, it's the baby boom generation that creates the largest trends. The baby boomers are a group of babies born between 1946 and 1964. There were 76 million of them born in the United States, 1 billion of them worldwide. Why is this group so talked about? They're 1/3 of the U.S. population and control 65% of all the money. I've likened the magnitude of all those babies to a basketball moving through a garden hose. They reshape every industry they go through. See, if you can predict where this basketball is going down the garden hose, you possess the ability to make fortunes. I want to give you some historical examples of the obvious buying patterns of these boomers. It started with a company called Gerber back in 1940, who were barely known. But by 1955, just 10 years after the boomers were born, they had sold 1.8 billion jars of strained baby food. As the boomers took their first steps, it was Buster Brown and Kenny Shoes. When the boomers went out to play, Mattel and Hasbro got rich, providing toys to this young group. In 1957, we built more elementary schools in the U.S. in 1 year just to handle the overflow than we did in any 12-year period before or after. As the boomers went through their teens, Dairy Queen and McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken became billion-dollar companies feeding the boomers. When the boomers moved through their 20s and 30s, which was in the mid-70s, what was the industry to be in? Real estate. Why? Because the boomers had heard from their parents one time too many, as long as you're living under my roof, you'll do as I say. So they wanted their own roof, which created a 15-year real estate boom. And people are still talking today about that great time frame to be in real estate. Then what happened to the real estate market in the late 80s? It began its decline. Why? The basketball had moved through the real estate industry. Another example of this is the U.S. stock market. I heard a stock market analyst speaking on the radio the other day saying that he just couldn't believe that the stock market had had a 15-year rise. Notice the number 15 years keeps coming up. Why? Because the baby boomers were born between 1946 and 1964. And so 18 years separates the front edge from the back edge, a very important number for you. If you look for trends on the front side of the basketball, you get the full 18 years for your products to be popular. That's the reason you study the nose of the basketball. So your business, no matter what your business is to be looking at what industries are expanding or which industries are about to expand. I don't care how long you've been doing something or how long you've been in school to learn something. Are you in front of trends or not? Don't have a loyalty to something just because you've been educated in it. So what are the next trends? Looking at the nose of the basketball right now, it's approaching 53 years old. As a matter of fact, every 8 seconds for the next some 15 years, somebody in this country turns 53. What are their concerns? What are their desires? What are their needs? Health, looking younger, education, retirement, security, and money. Those are some of the big trends. So if you want to be brilliantly compensated, you must focus on industries and companies that have positioned themselves in front of these trends. Number 4 is leverage. I'm going to spend some time on this one. We're not really taught this in our society. We're taught to go get a good education, build a resume, and exchange our expertise for someone's dollars. The problem with that is if we're not exchanging our expertise, we're not making any dollars. So vacation time is costly. A walk around the golf course, costly. Family time, although extremely important, is costly. I'll define the word leverage as an increased means by which to attain something. One form of leverage is investing $5 million and earning 10% interest, which will yield you about 41 grand a month in income. So whether you're enjoying family time or playing golf or vacationing, you're still enjoying 41 grand a month in income. You're leveraging off your money. That's a leverage everyone would love, but very few have it. Let me explain another kind of leverage that's available to everyone, including yourself. Incidentally, if you get nothing out of this videotape than a better understanding of this little simple concept I'm going to explain, you'll have gained something very valuable for viewing it. Imagine, if you will, that you own a company. You employ just one person, me. I work for 8 hours on Monday. You work for the same 8 hours on Monday that I do. Now listen closely. You get paid on 16 hours worth of work because you take a portion of my productivity as income back to yourself. You're leveraging off my efforts because I'm your employee. So theoretically, the more employees you have working for you, the more leverage you have. However, have you ever had employees? If you have, you know that in theory, hiring employees sounds great, but it's very difficult to reach leverage through employees. I've heard it said that if you have one employee, you have one headache. If you have 100 employees, you run an adult daycare center. And the reason being is this: no employee will ever work as hard for your company as you will, because they don't own it. As soon as the boss walks out of the office, it's throw the feet up on the countertop, make long-distance phone calls. When the employee goes to the supply cabinet, they don't grab just one pen. They grab a handful of pens and Post-it notes and paper clips and rubber bands, right? I'm sure you've never done anything like this, but many people do. Here's my rule of thumb for reaching true leverage. If there's one sentence that epitomizes the entire video, it would be this: to have true leverage, you must create a situation where everyone has the same amount to gain. Only then do you have true leverage. Let me give you an example of this type of leverage. Let's say that I'm a real estate broker and I hire an agent named Robert. Robert goes out and sells a building. Robert earns a percentage of the selling price of the building, and so do I, the broker. Why do I, the broker, earn a percentage when it was Robert who sold the building? Well, I did some of the advertising. I trained Robert. I had the initiative to go get my broker's license in the first place. I put up the risk. I did a lot of things. And so it's valid that I, as the broker, earn my money. But Robert doesn't work for me as an employee. He's an independent contractor. He just hangs his real estate license on my wall. My point here is the broker and the agents have the same amount to gain from the sale of the home. It's totally in the agent's interest to earn more money, which is a form of leverage for the broker. Now, I'm going to continue with this broker-agent discussion because I'm not quite done. But I just wanted to stop for a second and let you know that that completes my 4 principles of evaluating a business. Let me recap them. Number 1 is a huge expanding market. Number 2 is a unique consumable product. Number 3 is timing. And number 4 is leverage. If you understood those 4 items, not only do you now know how to place value to a business, but you also have a better conceptual understanding of business than most people do. Let's continue this discussion concerning leverage because it's an extremely important one, as you'll see. There is a flaw in this leverage situation that I've shown you, and it's this. The broker can have multiple agents, but the agents cannot. The broker has leverage. The agents don't. Until the agents do what most brokers dread. What happens when I, the broker, have been real effective at teaching Robert to be a good agent? What's Robert going to want to do in a couple of years? Be his own broker, right? Is this good for me, the broker? No, because as soon as he becomes a broker, 2 bad things happen to me. Number 1, he breaks away from me and I lose him as an income source. And 2, worse than that, he's now my competitor that I trained. He knows all my good stuff. By the way, this doesn't just happen in the real estate industry. It happens in practically every industry. Have you ever heard the expression, I'm just going to work there for experience? What does that mean? It means I'm going to strip them of their knowledge and then go do it myself. If you're a business owner, how many people have you trained who are no longer working for you? How many people have you trained to be your competitors? Well, this gets worse. Let's say that Robert is now a broker right down the street. What will he do now that he's a broker? He'll go out and hire his own agents. And let's say one of those agents is Linda. Linda also eventually wants to be a broker. So she becomes a competitor to me that I indirectly trained, as well as Robert, who I directly trained. And this continues on and on. I actually created a chain of competitors that I trained. What if we did a whole paradigm shift? Here's where this becomes brilliant. Let's say instead I'm going to empower Robert to become a broker. I want him to become a broker from day 1. See, the only way that you or I can retain a leader is provide him or her with the same opportunity for growth that we have. Hence, an opportunity where everyone has the same amount to gain. So from day 1, I'm going to encourage Robert to be a broker. And when he does, he doesn't break away from me and become my competitor. He shifts from agent to broker, which now allows him to sponsor his own agents. Now, to create an incentive for me, the broker, to always help Robert and his agents, I'm still going to earn a percentage of what he and his agents sell. And shouldn't I? I trained him. I put up the risk and all those reasons I mentioned earlier. Now, the percentage I earn from Robert and his organization should be a lot smaller than when he was an agent, but I should still earn a percentage. That's my incentive to keep working with them. Now, some people look at this and say, gosh, isn't that one of those pyramids? And what's the perception of a pyramid? People at the top make all the money and the people down below do all the work, right? Isn't that the perception of a pyramid? Let me explain why this is not a pyramid and why people at the top don't necessarily make all the money. Let me just make a quick point before I discuss the pyramid issue. It's not the geometric shape that people have a problem with. This geometric shape is probably the shape of your family tree, the shape of our government. To the architect, it's the strongest structure known to man. Every organizational structure in the world is this shape. So the shape isn't the problem. However, that perception, people at the top earn all the money, let me illustrate that for you. Here's a typical corporation. At the top, you have a CEO, which stands for Chief Executive Officer. Does the president earn more money than the CEO? Not normally. How about below the president? Do any of the vice presidents earn more money than the president? No. Let me ask this question, and I want you to really think about it. What would happen if some of the vice presidents of a corporation made more money than the president? Really, what would happen? Talk about total confusion. This whole process is called delegation. Each level of the corporation earns less income. The reason the president can tell the vice president what to do is because they make more money. The reason a middle manager can tell the staff and employees what to do is because they make more money. So the corporate structure is people at the top making the majority of the money, and the people at the bottom do not. The CEO of any corporation earns off the productivity of, or is leveraged off of, everyone in his or her corporation. Whether that CEO personally hired every employee or someone else in the company hires them. So the CEO, and only the CEO, earns on multiple levels of his or her company. And the model that I'm suggesting as being brilliant is where you, the individual, are given that same opportunity to earn on multiple levels of brokers and agents, just as the CEO of a corporation is. From here on, I'll refer to this form of marketing as network marketing. In network marketing, you, the individual, are given the opportunity to earn off the productivity of the people in your organization, whether you personally sponsor them or someone in your organization sponsors them. Remember when I said to reach true leverage, you must create a situation where everyone has the same amount to gain? Well, that's what I've just described. Here's what makes the network marketing structure the absolute fairest structure available. In most network marketing companies, everyone can earn a certain number of levels deep of the organization they build. Everyone in the company can earn that same number of levels deep, like maybe 4 levels deep or 6 levels deep. Let's say we use 4 levels. So if you build an organization to be more productive, then you would earn more money than I would, even if you were in my organization. In the example shown, you would earn on 3 levels I couldn't reach, because everyone gets the same number of levels. There are people in my organization right now that earn more money than I do. Do you know what I call that? Fair. Shouldn't it be that way? I mean, take any structure. Shouldn't the most productive person in that structure make the most money? What does a nice resume or years of seniority have to do with productivity? Nothing. If you bring more profits to a company or organization, don't you deserve more profits than anyone else? You don't normally find a person on the 5th level of a corporation earning more money than anyone else, but in network marketing, it happens all the time. Now I'd like to show you an interview that I've done with Dr. Charles King, who holds a PhD from Harvard and is a professor of marketing at the University of Illinois at Chicago, who actually teaches network marketing at the university. Dr. King, we're delighted to have you here.
I'm pleased to be here, Tim.
Dr. King, could you tell us a little of your education and your business background?
Tim, I'm a professor of marketing at the University of Illinois at Chicago. I got my bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Texas in Austin, spent a tour of duty with the Exxon Corporation, and then returned to get my doctorate in business administration from Harvard University. More important to this discussion, over the last 6 years, I've been involved in doing research, teaching, and consulting in network marketing.
So coming from such a conservative school, and I know you a little bit and I know you to be very conservative, what caused you to look at network marketing to begin with?
In 1990, we had a major economic recession in the United States. The Midwest and Chicago particularly were very badly hit. As a result, the interviewers stopped coming to campus. We were graduating hundreds of students a semester, and they weren't getting jobs. Our alumni were coming back to us, losing their jobs, looking for help, and we had nothing to offer them. Now, I started looking, because of my background in business consulting, at alternative career paths. I went out and I looked at starting your own business, at home-based businesses. I looked at franchising. I looked at direct selling. And in the direct selling arena, I backed into network marketing. Now, I was very cynical, skeptical. Tim, I was negative about network marketing. They don't teach network marketing at the Harvard Business School, and I didn't know much about it. The end result was one of my students who was on the team asked me, "Why are you so negative about network marketing?" I looked at that young man and I said, "Son, I know enough to know I don't want to know any more." That student looked at me and he said, "Professor, if I gave you that answer to that question with no more information than you have, you would give me an F." I turned to him and I said, "Son, you're absolutely right. I have no basis for that conclusion. You just made an A." As a result, we went to the library, we went to meetings, and for the next 6 months, we did due diligence on the network marketing industry. I visited the top companies, I talked to network marketing leaders, I became an evangelist. In 1990-91, we started teaching network marketing in the marketing curriculum at the university.
Wow. Was there any resistance from the dean of the school or the alumni?
As it turned out, our dean at the time was a very entrepreneurial operator. He was looking for outreach programs that we could initiate. I had done my due diligence. We were getting good reviews in terms of student responses. So the dean said, "Maintain your professional profile and let's move forward with network marketing."
What is your view of the industry of network marketing now, and where do you see it going in the future?
Tim, the industry is coming of age. Today, we have computer and management information systems, which makes it possible for a network marketing company to organize a sales force so effectively that we can make a sale in Korea in Korean won, instantaneously convert that Korean won sale into US dollar sale, post that to a distributor's commission account in the United States, and pay that distributor in a week. Never before in the history of this industry has that been possible. So we have gone through a dramatic technological wave in the 1980s, the early 90s. I argue now we're moving into the wave of professionalism, and I emphasize professionalism at several levels. Number one, we are seeing more and more professionals, physicians, dentists, attorneys, CEOs, college professors, going into network marketing. Secondly, we're seeing a completely different attitude on the part of the press. The Wall Street Journal, Forbes, the Chicago Tribune, regional dailies around the United States are giving network marketing very positive press. On the other hand, the universities are accepting network marketing as a legitimate channel of distribution. The University of Illinois Chicago has offered the first certificate seminar in network marketing in the history of the industry. The University of Houston is going to be sponsoring network marketing as part of their outreach entrepreneurial programs. We are seeing more and more community colleges setting up network marketing courses on their campuses. So I see this industry growing dramatically over the next 10 years. It's currently a $20 billion industry in the United States. We have 7 to 10 million distributors in operation. We're expanding globally into Asia, into South America, into Europe. The industry is growing at about 10 to 12% a year in contrast to 3 or 4% for traditional retail sales. So on my view, the industry is absolutely coming of age.
Suppose you run across the super skeptic. What advice do you have for them?
Tim, I would recommend they do precisely what I did. I was a super skeptic. I did my due diligence, I investigated the industry, and I drew my own conclusions. I would suggest to anyone seriously looking at network marketing that they might read a couple of key references, that they might read 2 specific references. First, I would recommend that they read Wave 3 by Richard Poe. Richard Poe puts the industry in perspective in a very readable, enjoyable way. The second book I would suggest the skeptic read is one published in 1998 by Mark and Renee Reed Yarnell entitled Your First Year in Network Marketing. I strongly recommend that you do your due diligence and then begin to define precisely what role you want to play in the network marketing industry. Set realistic expectations. If there is a single cause for failure in this industry, it's the get-rich-quick syndrome, thinking that you can come into the industry and make enormous sums of money with no work. I argue, by contrast, that if you set realistic expectations, you develop a plan of action to guide your business development, you can be successful.
If someone were to come to your course, whether it's in Houston or whether it's in Chicago, what would they learn?
Tim, what we've tried to do in that program is apply the basic skills of entrepreneurial management specifically to managing a network marketing distributor organization. We start by developing a business plan for a network marketing distributor. The second module, after building on the business plan, is to talk about how you implement the plan. How do you build a downline organization? The third module talks about managing your business. From the idea of managing your organization as you start building 10, 20, 30, 50, several thousand people in your group, on into managing your business as a financial profit machine. Tim, as you can tell, I believe in this industry. For a small financial investment and a commitment in sweat equity, hard work, and dedication, anyone can be successful in network marketing.
And that's coming from a Harvard Business School graduate who was a true skeptic, but through due diligence, he learned the truth. You may be asking yourself, how would I go about finding these brokers and agents? You'd find them from the same place if you had started any other kind of business. If you started a new business and you needed an assistant, a sales rep, a board of directors, where would you go to find them? Maybe you'd go to people you've worked with in the past, maybe family members who are in transition or are frustrated, people who you went to school with. You could also hire executive search firms, get referrals, run ads in the newspaper, on the internet. All of these work for traditional companies, and they work for network marketing also. The way I came into this industry was by answering an ad in the newspaper with a total stranger. But if a friend of mine had called me, I would have gladly built my business within my friend's company, because it doesn't matter to me where I build my company.
My name is Larry Smith. I'm 46 years old. I work out of Denver, Colorado. I was a former corporate president earning $102,000 a year.
What was your perception of the industry then, and how does it compare with how you feel now?
I basically saw it as a pyramid program because I'd heard a lot about pyramids. I didn't know what they were, but I heard a lot about them. Today, I think it's the only way to make a true difference and a fortune is to add leverage to your income.
Would you have classified yourself as being busy when you first looked at network marketing?
I was very busy when I first looked at network marketing, and that was also part of the reason it did intrigue me, was because I was tired of being so busy that I was worn out all the time.
So how did you make the time to do it?
I believe there's a price of success you pay for anything, and I realized that the biggest challenge I would have would be to take that time that's so precious to me today and now carve out more of it to build a business. What it allowed me to do by doing this, Tim, was to free up that other half of my life that I used to spend developing someone else's dream to get my dreams back.
If someone has previously been involved with network marketing and now they're looking at it again, perhaps with another company, what advice would you give them?
Very good question, Tim. I was involved in networking 4 times before this one. And, I can look at it and say I failed, or I can look at it and say I gained experience, which allows me to be as successful as I am today. I know that in order to be successful in any career, you have to gain education. Part of your success story is the fact that you've gone through failure to achieve success.
How well have you done financially?
I started in January 22nd of 1996 with my company. I worked part-time for 3 months. By my 3rd month, I made over $4,000. By my 9th month, I made over $10,000. By my 16th month, I went over $20,000. And last month, I made over $28,000. This year is my 2nd year in the business, and I earned over $223,000 my 2nd year, incidentally, which is over twice what I was earning as a corporate president, and it took me 27 years to get there.
So you were at the top of the pyramid in the other one.
Yes, with no place to go and no more income to earn.
That's right.
Is it better to be hired by a company or sponsored in a network marketing company? I want to contrast those two. Let's say that I started a new electronics company and you and I knew each other. I hire you to manage my sales reps, and I tell you that I can pay you $40,000 a year. How did I decide on the $40,000? Is that what you're worth? Or is that my opinion of you? In all honesty, I'm only going to pay you just enough money to keep you there. And you're only going to work hard enough just to keep your job. It's sort of a we'll pretend to pay you if you pretend to work kind of thing. Here's the important question. Can I offer you a better opportunity within my company than I have being the owner? Do we have a situation where everyone has the same amount to gain? No, we don't. The laws of economics today in the corporate world are this: the owner must maximize his or her benefits by minimizing the employees. That's just the way it is. However, in network marketing, I can offer you a better opportunity than I have. How? Because I'll be helping you build your company. It's in my interest to help you build your company. Network marketing is the most ethical business I've ever seen in my life. And the reason I say that is because my success and your success is forever intertwined if I sponsored you. I can't change that. I can't fire you, nor would I want to. So it's far better to be sponsored into a network marketing company than hired by a corporation.
My name is Ridgely Goldsboro. I'm 37 years old. I live in Los Angeles, California. I was educated as an attorney and then moved on to being a corporate CEO for a number of large companies that I started myself.
How were you initially contacted to look at network marketing?
That's an interesting story. My dad gave me a call and wanted me to take a look at network marketing. And I said to him, Dad, come on, you got to be kidding me. He said, no, this really makes a lot of sense. I said, okay, fine, I'll take a look at it. And I have to tell you that my whole intention behind looking at these documents was to protect my dad from doing something very foolish, which is exactly what I thought network marketing was all about. So after going through a detailed analysis of the business paperwork that I was initially sent, after that I said, you know what, I think I can do this. This makes a lot more sense than what I'm doing, and I just jumped right in.
And so what was your perception of the industry then, and how does it compare with how you feel now?
Well, my initial perception of the industry was I thought it didn't work. After spending some time in the industry and realizing that basically this is an environment where it is no more than a distribution operation, it simply happens to be more efficient than any other distribution operation. Network marketing, to me, is the most effective, most efficient distribution business ever created on this planet, and clearly distribution is one of the great businesses for the next 10 to 20 years.
Ridgely, is network marketing hard?
I would have to say, insofar as we enjoy what we do, it's the biggest piece of cake in life. Insofar as that it requires work, dedication, and perseverance, you bet it's hard. And you know what? You don't get nothing out there for free or without investing something yourself. The difference is here, when you invest the time and the effort into network marketing, you get paid for years and years and years.
Is network marketing fun?
It's the most fun I've ever had in business. I've never been happier in my life, and there's not a chance in the universe that I'm ever going back.
Perhaps I've created a question in your mind. If a network marketing company pays commissions to all these people, 4 levels deep, 6 levels deep, then doesn't that just drive up the cost of the products? Well, of course it does. But does that mean the products that go to the consumer are more expensive? No. Oftentimes they're actually less expensive than traditional products. Because although the network marketing company adds cost over here to pay those multiple levels of people, they're taking cost from over here by cutting out some of the traditional distribution costs. I'll explain that in just a second. Not that you should always desire a less expensive product. Sometimes you get a lot better value with a more expensive product. Anytime someone looks at the price of a product before they look at the value of a product, they're looking in the wrong order. Also, I've seen times that products appear more expensive, but it's because there's no fair comparisons in the marketplace. Now let me explain how the distribution of network marketing actually works. Let me show this to you on the chalkboard. Here's an example of the traditional method of distribution. Sodas are a good example to use. How much do you think a soda costs? The raw materials at the manufacturer cost about 6 cents for the soda and the can. And then the manufacturer needs to mark the product up, right? And then it goes to the national distributor. They mark it up. The regional distributor marks it up. Local wholesaler marks it up. Advertising budget gets kicked in. Somebody says, baby. Price goes way up. And then the retail store, like maybe a restaurant, gets it. And they sell it for about $2. So between 6 cents and $2, that's a $1.94 markup. For this example, I'm going to divide this $1.94 evenly between all 6 channels that marked it up. That's not to imply that the markup on all the products is the same at each channel. It's not. I just want to help you understand how many different channels mark up products. So $1.94 divided by 6 different channels equals 32 cents that go to each one of these different 6 channels. So 32 cents goes here, 32 cents goes here, and so on, all the way through to the retail. As you can see, in traditional marketing, approximately 85% of the cost of the product is the distribution cost. In other words, getting it to the consumer. And 15% is the cost to manufacture the product or make the product. Up until now, everyone's been cutting on the manufacturing cost, which obviously can reduce the quality of a product. What network marketing does is it cuts the distribution cost. Okay? Now, let's take a look at network marketing. Products start out at the same cost, 6 cents. They need a markup just like they did up here, and so this 32 cents also goes down here. So we'll have 32 cents here. The national distributor is the network marketing company. They are the same, and so the same 32 cents that's here, we'll bring it down here. So the network marketing company has 4 channels of spending to redirect. For this example, let's say they take one of the channels and gives it to the manufacturer to make a better product. That's why many times the product quality is so much higher with network marketing products. The local wholesaler, the 32 cents that's here, we'll give that to the network marketing company and allow them to create a research and development department. Now comes the part you're interested in. The network marketing company needs a way to distribute their products. So they find a distributor. Let's call her Distributor A. The network marketing company says to Distributor A, "Would like you to distribute our product. And we'll give you an incentive, which is the retail profit that the restaurant used to enjoy," which gives Distributor A the opportunity to buy at wholesale and sell at retail. This by itself is called direct sales. Then the network marketing company says, "Okay, we need more distributors." They could go and find more distributors themselves or give an incentive to Distributor A to find other distributors. Who would be the best person to find more distributors? A distributor of the products or the company? The distributor. They're the ones in the trenches. They're the ones with the satisfied customers. And they're the ones with the referrals. And that's just from them marketing the product. There's another way that distributors get attracted to network marketing. Let's say you're Distributor A and you drive up to your brother's house with a brand new car. And your brother says, "Whoa, how'd you get that?" You say, "Well, I'm a distributor with this company and I make a lot of money." So your brother becomes interested because of the business opportunity. So it's logical a distributor is better at finding distributors than the company could be. Now contrast this with a company like Procter & Gamble. Who distributes Procter & Gamble's products? A lot of companies, right? Supermarkets, convenience stores, drugstores. Well, who found all those distributors for Procter & Gamble? Procter & Gamble's sales reps that Procter & Gamble hired and trained. And the sales reps probably received a one-time commission. So instead of the network marketing company hiring sales reps to find distributors for their products, the network marketing company creates an incentive for the distributor to find other distributors. So the network marketing company is basically saying to the distributor, now listen closely, "We'll pay you what we would have paid in advertising and what we would have paid to hire and train sales reps. Plus, we'll give you ongoing commissions from the products that are ordered by the distributors you connected to the company. We'll take that money and give it to you as an incentive to find and train more distributors for our products." So in my example, we've removed 2 of the traditional channels out of the distribution chain. We created an opportunity for the individual, like me and you, to earn income from marketing a product and building a team of distributors, yet kept the price of the soda the same.